Can you be a full-time foster parent? What do you think? I was a foster parent for a lot of years for troubled teens, ages 12 through 18. And in this video, we're going to be answering that question and more. I'm Nicholeen Peck. I teach parenting, good communication all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're going to be talking about if you can be a full-time foster parent and why you might want to consider being a full-time foster parent and what the hang-ups of being a foster parent could be. I never planned on being a foster parent. In fact, when I went to college, I went to school in education, special education, and I knew I would be working with people in my life with challenges. But I had no idea that I would be taking in treatment children into my home to live with my family. But there was a time when I realized I wanted to stay home with my children and not pursue the careers that I was in at the time. I was a counselor for a funeral home, actually. And I knew that that wasn't going to be very conducive to raising my children. And so the feeling I had was a surprise to me. I got this idea to become a foster parent, and not just any type of foster parent, but to take in the treatment children, the hard ones, and the teens at that. A short answer to the question, can you be a full-time foster parent? The answer is yes, you can. I was. In fact, that's what I did to provide for my family when my husband went back to school and wasn't going to be making money for the family, but I did not want to be in the office having a career because I wanted to raise my children. So I took in multiple foster children at a time. Now that's the thing. Foster care does not pay that great, okay? I mean, it's decent, I guess, but it really doesn't pay very well. And so I took in higher level of care children because the pay was higher. And when I did that, I also took in multiple children. So I always had 2 at a time. This was what I needed. We had just built a new home, moved to a new town. I needed to be able to help our family exist when my husband went back to school and was starting a new business. There was a financial burden that was on me. And it can help if you take in multiple children, but you know your capacity, you know what you are able to do. Here's the thing, if you are not with those foster children, somebody else who is qualified has to be. So really, there isn't a great way to be a foster parent part-time. I mean, I suppose you could do something while they're at school in the day, but if you're dealing with caseworkers and judges and guardian ad litems and different people that you have to work with because this child is a state child, then you're going to have minutes taken out of your workday all of the time. So what I did is I decided this was going to be my full-time job. In fact, when I went to interview as a foster parent, they said, "Why do you want to be a foster parent?" And I said, well, truthfully, I'd like to tell you it's because I care so much about the children. I do, but I need a job. And they said, perfect. We actually don't want people who are just saying they care so much about the children, because those people sometimes don't take it as seriously as they should, and the children don't get the help they need. We want people who know this is going to be a job. So I want to tell you, one foster parent to a potential foster parent, it's going to be a job. So go into it thinking, this is my job or my career at this time. Treat it that way. The children need you to take it that seriously. I'm going to talk to you about what the hang-ups are to foster parenting, especially if it's full-time foster parenting. But first, do you see that button that says subscribe? Click it. This channel is going to be a lifeline for you as you are embarking upon foster care and upon your parenting journey, because the content that is on this channel handles the most difficult behaviors that other people don't always talk about. Click subscribe now. So what are the hang-ups to being a full-time foster parent? Well, it's actually pretty time intensive. You've got to be on your game all the time. So when I say be on your game, what I mean is when you're doing foster care and you're dealing with at-risk children, troubled children, treatment children, those are a lot of the ones that are in the foster care system. There are a lot of things that you have to address. They have what we call issues, okay? So they might have honesty issues, which means they lie a lot. They may have sensory issues, cognitive issues, processing issues. There's a lot of issues, familial issues, bonding issues. They might have like attachment disorders, you know, stuff like that that you are going to have to deal with, because who knows how long they have been in the system. And those types of things, those issues actually require really consistent supervision. So hopefully you will see, we are having a sensory issue. How am I going to help that child handle that sensory issue in day-to-day life? Maybe it's related to autism, maybe it's related to some abuse or trauma, maybe it's related to anxiety. Whatever it is, you have to help them regularly deal with that sensory issue. So that means that you need to be there. When you have foster children, you don't leave them alone a lot. It takes your time. That's why it has to be a full-time job. The person who is helping the child to get past some of their difficulties has to see what's happening. Now, here's another hang-up, and that is if you have other children that you're raising, so maybe your own biological children, dealing with foster children, especially in this full-time capacity, can actually take some time and attention away from your own biological children. This was actually one of the things that got me homeschooling early on. So I don't know if you know that, but I am a homeschooler. I was. My children are all out of the home now because I'm an empty nester, but we decided to homeschool our own children so that we would have some hours in the day where they weren't competing for our attention with the foster children that required, quite frankly, a lot of attention. That's going to be a thing. You're going to have to make a lot of phone calls. So, you know, you're going to be talking to caseworkers, setting up appointments, going to therapy appointments, all these different types of things related to the issues that your child, your foster child, might be facing in your home. So you have to want to put in extra work. And I guess I should say, you know, that doesn't have to be seen as a drawback. I think I need to say it's a drawback in case you're not wanting the extra work. But if you don't put in the extra work, you could actually be putting everybody in danger. There are so many people that come to me and say, I was a foster child and I was abused by the foster children that came to my home. My parents didn't know. They were just letting us all behave as siblings. They didn't know. Well, that is one serious danger of foster care. You're bringing someone into your home who's had trauma. You want to help them and you want to still create a good family life for them. And so you start treating them exactly like your children and letting them have playtime with your children as normal siblings would, and you don't observe it, and then boom, something happens. So you have to be observing all of the time in order to keep everyone safe. I don't think it's a drawback. I think it's a good thing, but you also have to be more structured. You're going to want to have a plan for your parenting. And so you are at the right place for that. I can share my whole plan for you with parenting your children as well as the foster children that you're going to be taking into your home. I have a whole website for it. The website is teachingselfgovernment.com. There are resources there that can help you. There are books. There are training courses. The best training for you if you are going to be a treatment parent is the 3-day parenting mastery training, whether you do the online one or the in-person one. If you can't make it to one of those in time, then be sure to do the TSG parenting course. That is another option to help get you the training you need so that you can make sure you keep your family safe and you have good communication. You can keep the spirit of love in the home, even if you're dealing with difficult behaviors. So go to teachingselfgovernment.com today and find out more so that you can keep learning on this TSG or Teaching Self-Government journey. I'll see you there.